So it's Monday, August 5th, and it's the day before Kamala is supposed to announce who the VP choice is. And I just want to get my 2 cents out there officially as to when it came down to the last four that everyone's been talking about, who gets my vote and why. So starting with Walz from Minnesota. I think he's hilarious. I think any of these people are great. However, let's just discuss, what does Kamala need most? She's riding a really fabulous wave, right? You can't orchestrate anything better. I don't care. Even Obama, this is a much better moment because it's got that not only person of color, but it's got woman. And it almost feels like we can achieve this goal. It feels, it's just like, it's in our hands. We just can't let it slip through. And how much a vice president choice does to impact that, no one will ever know. But I think that from what I've read, I think Walz might be a little too progressive because as it is, Kamala is considered a West Coast liberal. So don't forget, we're trying to win in the margins, and someone as down the center conservative without being like right wing, is important. As for Mark Kelly, I think Mark Kelly is great. He was one of my first conversations when this whole thing started because he has that border issue kind of he could speak to because who his wife is, Gabby, is all about gun violence. I think that's a very important voting issue, especially for Democrats. He feels a little Tim Kaine in terms of the age difference, although he's the same age as Kamala, but you'd never know it. And to quote Tim Miller, white straight men need to moisturize. See? And then there's Josh Shapiro, who, as a Jew, I feel that it would be more hilarious than not to have a Jew so that all the anti-Semites' head would explode. However, more importantly, he has a couple of issues that are looming that are going to be a negative related to cover-up of a sexual inappropriate allegation. Not him, but someone in his department that was covered up and she was paid off, and it's okay, who needs the resurgence of the Me Too Me people, okay? They've kind of been quiet, and, this is no reason to galvanize around a Jew. Then there's this other story that's been covered up from the past when he was the Attorney General, which really does not sound like a good thing. Apparently the state of Pennsylvania is bringing this case back up. It's been kind of washed over from years ago, but someone was unalived, and then lo and behold, he was the Attorney General at the time. It was written off as a suicide, and no. So they're bringing that case back out. If he was the Attorney General, okay, Kamala doesn't need these kind of headlines when she's enjoying this particular moment. And tomorrow, since the announcement's happening, nobody needs to have her opening. As it is, we have stinky Trump saying it's a Kamala crash because of what happened in the stock market today. That queen loves a good, slogan. I like my slogan for him, gross baboon. It's stuck since 2012. Anyway, which just leads me to, there's enough weird shit in this country with anti-Semitism. Take her for someone who's been on the receiving end of it just about his whole life, since we came from this little blue-collar town in New Jersey, the one or two families of Jews, and I was on the receiving end of anti-Semitism from childhood. So quite frankly, this whole moment we're living in is not interesting. It doesn't scare me. I know it scares a lot of Jews here in America, but a note to Jews, find your spine. It's made out of steel. Remember that, and fight whoever you have to, and do what you do to take people down who would otherwise see you go down first. That's that, but I digress. In any event, that leaves me with Andy Bashir, who my sister and I have spoken about for a few years already. Why isn't somebody like him being pushed to the forefront in this Democratic Party, which, let's face it, we're in this whole situation with Joe to the last minute because for the past few years, nobody really came forward. Like, fortunately, Kamala is viable as hell, you know what I mean? So it's like, here we are because she's awesome. It's not manufactured. It's pure raw grit. Now, the Democrats, you know, I don't know what they were up to the past few years, but it's about time we started looking at our messaging. And hopefully this moment is a turning point for years to come, not just from now till November. I mean, this is a much bigger situation that we have to finally confront. We're known for being horrible messengers, and it's going to be interesting to see how Kamala fights back and how her people attack the attack dogs that are coming. Honey, they're coming. They're just licking their chops now, waiting for everything to be after, you know, she's going to get all these bounces straight through, which the timing is so delicious, the Democratic National Convention. So there's nothing they can say or do that's going to at all affect the tidal wave. I don't care what happens with the economy for the next month or so. Trust me, everything is reboundable. And quite honestly, since we know all the tech bros that are the billionaires that are supporting Trump, I wouldn't doubt that they're manipulating the stock market just to create this like Kamala crash so that that big slob has something to say, which, honey, no one's interested in what she's got to say. Well, every time I hear somebody coming at me with why I should vote for Trump, people actually say this. I'm like, have you met me? Have you ever seen any of my posts? Did you live in New York City when I had a very popular blog called ImeanWhat.com when I actually christened Trump Gross Baboon of the Year? It was an annual award I gave out as part of this blog. It's ImeanWhat.com. I think it's like, it's not active, but it's still on there on the internet if you want to see it. But, you know, the reality is he's a blithering idiot. So the important moments that we get to look forward to is, of course, the DNC, where Kamala's going to come out like a superstar that she already is, but like uber super. But we can't get ahead of ourselves, and I think we have to make sure that as the campaign rolls out, and this is a message to you, Kamala, I found a picture of you when you were running in 2019 for president, where you were on a farm in jeans talking to a farmer, and that image is seared in my brain forever. Please, as part of your rollout, go back and meet with the farmers, and not in a pantsuit. I'm talking dungarees and like the Carhartt jacket, honey, and out you go. But seriously, I think Andy Bashir, who is the Kentucky governor, is my choice. He's successful in a red state, the reddest state maybe, a state not known for their economy, which he has helped to improve. Everyone that I know that lives in Kentucky said that during COVID, he was amazing and they will love him. They call him Andy. It's like Andy Griffith. It's like somebody that you feel you can trust. He's that white Christian. It's just, to me, it fits the boxes that are needed, almost the way Al Gore was a great alternative for Clinton. So I'm going with, I hope she picks Andy Bashir. Plus, by the way, what's his name? What's his freaking name? Oh gosh. No, I'll remember it. The guy from, Sean Fain from the United Auto Workers Union came out with a quote yesterday saying that the Harris-Bashir ticket is unbeatable. So as far as I'm concerned, seeing how successful Joe Biden was with the United Auto Workers, if he signs off on Harris-Bashir, so do I. So as for me, over and out, Don't forget, register to vote, tell your friends.